Sandberger got a great shot to double up here to take total command of this heads-up battle.
The turn is a 6 of clubs. No help for Daniel.
We are down to the river card. Daniel's going to have to catch a 3 or a 4. That's not a spade
to take the tournament.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
So the 2 young pros are on top. Daniel Santoro out front with over 3.2 million. Christian Harder in second with 1.5. And Bob Carbone with just over 900,000, the amateur pawn shop owner, in third place.
All got chips, and the Andes are 5,000. Blinds are 15 and 30. Here we go, down the stretch. Action's on Christian Harder, the 23-year-old.
Yeah, very tough pro out of Annapolis, Maryland. It's his second WPT final table appearance.
He's got A7, he has raised, but look at this. Bob Carbone with a pair of jacks.
Definitely going to play the jacks, definitely going to raise.
I'm all in.
Just a question how much you raise. There's your answer, all in.
That is a huge re-raise, of course. Daniel going out, and now all Christian has is A7. Will he make this call? Great double up.
I just don't see how you can call an all-in bet with an A7 offsuit here.
Yeah, the blinds are only 15 and 30. That's a huge over-raise, perhaps. Tough to pick up these kind of hands and get action with them.
See, Harder hates to give the hand up, but he does so.
He does.
So the pawn shop man, Bob Carbone, going to take down that pot. And there you see the guys hanging out at the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar. Club WPT VIP members get privileged seating at these Royal Flush Girl bars, so it pays to be a Club WPT VIP member.
All right, Daniel Santoro, first to act. He's got a nothing hand at 4 deuce.
Well, he's on the button, staying aggressive, raising with a 4 deuce offsuit.
Yeah, junk hand, Christian out.
Yeah, it's the minimum
God
raise.
bless you.
Carbone gonna squeeze. Ace 4.
One more time. All in.
There you go, Bob.
Well, he is shipping it with just the ace 4.
Good time to do it, too. The guy that had nothing.
He just knows Santoro raises every time on the button. Doesn't matter what he has, so you just got to hope he can't beat this hand.
And then you got to just ask yourself, who is this guy beneath the visor with the gray hair? The pawnbroker is in good form right now.
You'll get me. You'll get me.
But he is an enigma. He is an interesting man. He says he can't play, but he keeps raking in those chips, Mike. All right, back to the next hand. Daniel Santoro from Long Island. Oh, wow. Look at the hand he has just picked up.
Incredible. 2 aces.
A monster. And he makes it 60,000 to go.
I gotta give this guy.
on the button from Daniel.
Christian out.
Daniel's the best. I'll tell you,
Bob
he is the
looking down
best.
at 10s. Uh-oh.
I'm all in.
There you go.
Call. Calling again. This time he's getting called.
That is a cold deck if I ever saw one. 10 versus aces. Pawn shop man just couldn't get away from that one, that's for sure.
There's much you can do about Bob's hand there.
Oh, Bob in a lot of trouble right now.
Look at that read. So here we go. This could do it for the 62-year-old amateur. He's got to outdraw the best hand in poker, 2 aces, to stay alive in this tournament.
Daniel with the weapons of mass destruction up against 2 10s for the pawnbroker. Who will get lucky?
You can't blame Bob for going all in with his amount of chips with 2 10s in this spot.
He's got diamonds.
He's just going to have to get very lucky to win the pot now. Let's see if he can do it.
45 cards to come. Buckle up.
Bob Carbone.
Everybody on their feet here.
Nah, that's not certain.
Flop is.
That flop is 4, 5, 7.
2 aces, looking very good.
The ace is very comfortable right now. Out in front.
Well, the only way you can lose the pot is if a 10 comes up.
You really got to stop
The
talking.
2 cards to a straight come up, they would split this pot, but for Bob to stay alive, gonna have to catch a 10. Well, a king comes on the turn.
2 outs once.
We are down to the river. Bob has 2 outs. He must catch a 10 on the river. He must make Rin 10-10, or it's back to the pawn shop.
Last call coming up.
Well, it's a 9. Well, that's going to do it for the 62-year-old amateur.
Good job.
Bob Carbone from Westerly, Rhode Island. Great ovation for him. Got in this tournament on a $250 satellite. End up finishing third. What a performance.
Well, he's a great character. Excellent play. The crowd loves him here. But he has to say goodnight in third place. And right now, he's going over to talk to Matt Savage.
Yeah, terrific ovation for Bob.
Bob, you learned how to play at WPT boot camp.
Yes, I did.
You got tips all week from the pros. What did you learn tonight?
I learned tonight that these young kids are real good poker players. They are grinders, that's for sure. And hope to be back again someday. This was a great, great experience.
Well, congratulations. Third place finish. You can only go up from here.
Yeah.
One question for you. You know Vince
Yes.
Van Patten.
Yes.
If he ever needs a job as a pawnbroker, he'll be the perfect guy.
You got it. He can have one.
You got it. Vince, you got a job.
Anytime you need.
I love that.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
As you can see, Daniel Santoro, the chip leader with 4.4 million. He's from Long Island, New York. And Christian Harder, 1.3 million. The antes are 5,000. Blinds are 25 and 50. Here we go. Daniel looks down at a 10-6 offsuit.
He's been the most aggressive player at this table all night long. Not going to stop now as he makes the raise up to 100,000.
Christian with a 9-7 of spades, going to see a flop.
Now flop comes King 5-4 rainbow. Christian checks.
Daniel checking as well.
Now a 7 comes off. This gives Christian Harder the best hand now with 2 7s. But Santoro has an open-end straight draw.
Christian is going to bet the 7s. Looks like 115.
Look at this, Vince. This is not calling chips. These are raising chips here with just the open-end straight draw.
Yes, he's going to put some pressure on. 235,000 raise into Christian. He doesn't have that many chips.
He quickly calls here with the 2 7s.
A lot of guts here.
Essentially, all he can beat is a bluff, but that's what he thinks his opponent's got. Flush draw or a straight draw. Now an ace comes off.
Christian's going to check it. And ace comes off. Now, Daniel's been pushing before the flop, on the turn. If he bets again, you got to think Christian's going to go away.
Well, that's a very scary card for Christian Harder.
Yeah.
And this is a very scary bet to have to face.
Daniel's betting it. 400,000. With absolutely zip and pip.
This would be a huge portion of Christian Harder's remaining stack. Do you really want to call your money off a third pair here?
I think most pros are going to fold his hand, but
He does lay it down. His instincts are right on the turn. He has the best hand. They just got outplayed.
brilliant bet by Daniel Santoro extends his chip lead.
Christian Harder trying to regroup here, trying to get back in this thing. And that's one characteristic, as you know, about great poker players is they fight for pots. So Christian was fighting for that pot. He was trying to win it. Just didn't work out.
All right. Action's going back on Christian. This time he's got a king, jack of spades. And he's going to move it up to 100,000. Daniel now is down at a mediocrity.
Come on.
And he says all in with just 10-8. They are playing fast, and Christian with a king, jack of spades.
Well, Christian's only got about 700,000 left. Be surprised if he throw this hand away, but he might. Doesn't look that strong when a guy goes all in on you.
I call.
And he is going to make the call.
He's made the call, and he is going to love it. He's got king jack against a 10 high. He's got a good shot to double up. I'm talking about Christian Harder. His king high is the best hand.
Wow. Beautifully done by Christian Harder.
Now, Vince, this is the first time at this final table where we've seen Daniel jeopardize a fair amount of chips. He's been grinding his way up nice and smooth. Only once have I thought he put a lot of chips in a pot, but he felt like he had to with the 2 queens. He busted Steven at this final table. But since then, he's never made a play like this for this many chips.
I'm gonna flop it straight.
You're gonna flop it straight?
Yeah, I'm gonna flop it straight. You got like $1 million,
I'll
right?
flop a gut shot though, at least. I have less than $1 million.
All right, well, there's $1 million for you.
Christian Harder's well covered by Daniel, who's got
Daniel Santoro taking a shot. Could be backfiring. Right now, Christian, a nice favorite. 5 cards to come. Here we go, Mike.
Jack in the window.
Jack and a king right on the flop.
Oh, brother.
Well, Daniel knows you got to catch 2 running cards to win this pot now. Either 2 running 10s, 2 running 8s, or a combination of a straight that would give him the best hand. But Christian loving that flop, and that's going to do it. Daniel drawing dead with 1 to go. Christian Harder doubles up. Vince, you just can't kill this guy off.
Nope. He was like a cockroach or a share or what do you want?
Well, now, Christian Harder has about 1.9 million in chips, and his opponent just under 4 million.
5, 6, 7, 8.
To the action we go. Foxwood's title at stake right now, Daniel Santoro.
Santoro looks down at the Jack 7 of hearts. Just got burned in the last pot, but it's not going to slow him down from raising here. Makes it 100,000 to go. It's a minimum raise of 50,000.
Christian with the queen 9, got to make the call.
It's a lot of minimum raises, as we say. The flop comes 10, 8, 4 with 2 diamonds.
Both have straight draws. Christian checking. Daniel checking behind him.
When the Jack comes off, Christian Harder has made the straight.
Miracle card. Beautiful card for Christian.
Now there are 3 diamonds out there.
He checks again. He's going to try to trap.
Daniel Santoro has top pair and a straight draw. Certainly can't blame him for betting here.
You're right, $100,000 bet with the Jacks.
Now Christian Harder, in my mind, has to raise it here because of the 3 diamonds out there. Just can't check and give your opponent a chance to hit a free diamond on you.
Well, that's exactly what he did. He makes it 310,000 to go. Daniel can't be too pleased about that. You got your Jacks.
Santoro drawing dead as the cards lie, but he makes the call here.
Down to the river, a big pot brewing.
Well, he's hoping Harder's on some kind of drawing hand, and the 3 of spades could get him in further trouble here, because that card obviously is not going to help Christian Harder. But in Christian Harder's mind, that's about the best card he could see. He knows his opponent has to have a flush to have him beat.
490,000 by Christian.
And Santoro called the raise on the turn, thinking his Jacks were the best hand. And with that card coming off on the river, I think it's going to be tough for him to get away from this. Unless he just reevaluates. You see him shaking his head there.
Ugh, so many things out there. Oh, man.
Boy, you're going to hate yourself in the morning.
Well, Vance, it looks like he's going to make one of these crying calls, as we say in poker.
Here you go.
That's what he's done.
Straight.
And Christian Harder winning another big pot. It's with that pot, Christian Harder has taken the lead in this heads-up battle.
These titles are not easy to win. Proof in that hand. Christian Harder coming back in a strong way.
One thing's for sure, we're going to have a tough pro's name etched on the WPT Champions Cup. Will it be Christian Harder or Daniel Santoro?
2,500.
This is the event that we have guys like Howard Lederer, Hoyt Corkins, Nod Medic, Jonathan Little, among others that have taken this title. Now it's going to be one of these young men.
Nick Schulman, the youngest winner in the history of the World Poker Tour here in the States. He took down this title as well.
All right, but back to the table. A raise by Christian, and now a re-raise, it appears, by Daniel Santoro with King 10. Yep.
Just staying aggressive, Vince. He's been the most aggressive player all night at this final table. He's not slowing down. Heads up.
Christian with just an 8-5 has made the call. Here's the flop, and it's a big one for Santoro, kings and 10s. Just like that.
Flop the top 2 pair. Now he re-raised pre-flop and hopes to win the pot right there. Now he's hoping that Harder's got a big hand.
Yep. But do you check it or do you bet it? He's going to bet it.
You have to bet in case your opponent's got something like ace-jack. You just couldn't give him a free card that could beat you. Make him pay.
You're not going to pay when you have 8-5, though.
No.
It's just...
Harder won't be going any farther with this hand.
No.
He mucks it. Santoro takes down the pot.
Well, he's come a long way from the toy store. Daniel Santoro says the only job he ever had, besides playing poker, was at this little toy store that no longer exists.
He's just 25 years old from Long Island, New York. Been playing poker for 8 years. Been a pro for 7.
Okay, it's on him with the button. He's got an 8-6, and he's raised it. He's at 120 to go. The blinds are at 30 and 60,000.
Christian Harder, just 23 years old, but he's been playing poker for 6 years. So, Vince, these guys started young, like we did.
Yeah. Well, the flop comes up 7-5 deuce. All hearts. Neither player has a heart. Christian is checked. They both got straight draws. Daniel's betting 125. But now, Christian with an inside straight draw.
But no heart in his hand, Vince. But he is going to raise it. He is check raised to 325,000.
Yep, he's going to be aggressive with it with a nothing hand. These guys are just playing with air.
Yeah. There's sort of an unwritten rule in poker. You don't draw to a straight when there's 3 flush cards on the board.
And Daniel has to fold the hand. Christian Harder, only 23 years old from Maryland, taking down that pot with a lot of skill. Christian Harder now with a 7-5 is raised. Daniel Santoro with an ace-5. He's going to call.
Yeah, both players raising the minimum amount, especially on the button, virtually every time. That flop comes 7-6-6. Santoro checks the ace high.
Christian with a pair of 7s check in as well.
Surprised he would check that. I say that because if an overcard comes out like this, he could be frozen in this pot.
Jack of spades on the turn. Daniel checking again. And now, Christian with a bet. Looks like 125,000. But Daniel seems like he got a little confidence there. He's calling this.
Well, he's calling with the ace high. Thinks it might be the best hand. And an ace comes off. It's the best hand now as he makes aces up. As the cards lie, that was the only card he could catch to win this pot.
Well, they both check. Christian's slowing down there, and he's not going to like it as Daniel's aces takes down this pot.
Well, Christian probably criticizing his own play there for not betting on the flop.
Can't give those free cards out, especially when your hand is not that strong. But a little error there, and we move on. Blinds are up to 40 and 80,000. $10,000 ante. Daniel Santoro now with an ace-3 of clubs.
So we're gonna make it 40-80, right?
And he is going to raise, makes it 160,000.
Every time he raises it, he makes the minimum raise possible. In this case, he's raised it to 160, but look at this. Christian Harder has picked up big, slick ace-king suited.
Just a gigantic hand for Christian.
It's the kind of hand Christian's looking for right now. Nothing is going to slow him down from raising this.
Moves it up to close to 400,000.
So it's another 230,000 to Santoro.
I call.
And he's going to make the call.
Yep, he's not going anywhere.
Well, Daniel could be heading for big trouble here. Ace-king versus ace-3.
Like 18?
800,000 in the pot right now.
Plus.
The flop comes 7-5 deuce with 2 spades. Christian Harder has the best hand and the nut flush draw. He's going to lead out and bet here. About 340,000. Santoro has the gut shot straight draw.
One.
He's going to go all in.
Whoa.
I call.
Well, Harder is going to make the call.
And Daniel's not going to like this.
Well, Santoro was hoping that Christian had 2 big cards. Obviously didn't want him to be spades. If he had ace-king of diamonds, for example, that would have been a fantastic raise.
This is big trouble for the man from Long Island, Daniel Santoro.
Christian Harder got a great shot to double up here to take total command of this heads-up battle.
The turn is a 6 of clubs. No help for Daniel.
We are down to the river card. Daniel's going to have to catch a 3 or a 4. That's not a spade.
To take the tournament. He would break him and, oh, he caught the 3, but it's a spade, Mike.
Christian Harder makes an ace-high flush to take down that pot.
That was a 3 of diamonds or a 3 of hearts. The tournament's over, but not to be.
Far and away the biggest pot in this heads-up battle. And with it, Christian Harder, a monstrous chip leader.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
The match is completely turned around to where we started this heads-up battle. Santoro started the heads-up battle with about a 3-1 chip lead. And now we see Christian Harder with almost a 3-1 chip lead.
Daniel Santoro with 7s has raised to 160,000, and now Christian Harder.
Come on.
He's going to push all in with an ace-queen, and he's getting called. Here we go.
This could do it. Well, it's a classic race situation. Christian with the 2 overcards. Daniel with the underpair. Daniel must win this pot to stay alive in this tournament. If he wins it, he'll be the chip leader in this heads-up battle. Everybody on their feet. Here we go. Seems only fitting that this battle would end in a race, Vince. Can it? That's the question.
Yep, they're both smiling right now. The race will start right now. 5 cards to come.
Christian saying to himself, let me win just one race once.
Here is the flop.
Yeah, flop comes 6, 5, deuce, 2 spades.
7's out in front for Santoro.
Whoa. Oh, Ryan's awake.
Now Christian looking for an ace or a queen. 2 spades would do it as well.
You got a spade?
Well, 9 of spade comes off.
1 spade.
So Christian now needs an ace, a queen, or a spade to take this title right here, right now.
At Foxwoods, river card coming up. Here we go. Can Christian win this right now?
It's a king. Wow. Well, both players sit back down. Daniel Santoro has doubled up, and he once again is the chip leader in this heads-up battle.
Whoa.
On we go. The battle continues.
All right, to the felt we go. Daniel Santoro, this time with a queen 7. Lines are 40 and 80, and he is going to double the 80. Makes it 160.
Well, he's made the min raise all night long, as we say, especially on the button.
Christian with an ace 10.
Doesn't re-raise, just going to make the call.
Yeah, very shrewd young man, only 23 years old.
And flop comes ace, jack 8.
And Christian has hit aces just like that.
And action's on him, but I'm surprised he's reaching for chips here. You'd think he'd check to the pre-flop raiser. But he's not. He's leading right out, betting 170,000, and Daniel just gets away from his hand.
He's going to scare off Daniel. Christian didn't raise before the flop, so you wouldn't put him on an ace.
He was hoping Daniel would re-raise him there, but like he would have just checked. Knowing an aggressive player is going to make a continuation bet. But anyway, on we go.
Christian with a queen 10 this time. And he's getting out raising chips.
Yeah, both these players making the minimum raise on the button virtually every hand, doesn't matter what they have.
And he makes it 160,000. Daniel with a king 4. He'll call.
Yeah, because he's getting such a good price, he makes the call.
All right, queen 10 versus king 4.
Now flop comes ace 5, 3, 2 diamonds.
And Daniel's going to check with an inside straight draw. Christian hitting nothing there. Checks as well.
He's got the best hand and the best draw.
To the turn we go.
Yeah, the board pairs threes.
Daniel going to check again. Both of them looking disillusioned.
And again, it goes check, check. Now the deuce of diamonds comes off. This gives Daniel a straight.
Yep. Kind of walked into it. And he is getting some chips out to try to get paid off a little. Looks like 180,000. Christian only has queen high.
Yeah. The guy didn't raise before the flop, so you didn't put him on real big cards. He didn't bet the flop. He didn't bet the turn. So if you're sitting in harder seat, you could put him on like a jack-9, an 8-7, something like that, where your queen high might be good. So he's trying to make a hero call here, but it's not going to work as Santoro shows him a straight. So bad timing by Christian there, and right now, starting to march with 2 left feet here the last couple of pots.
Went for the hero play there, and it backfires. Gives up another 180.
Ever since he lost that race, where he would have been the champion had he won it.
Yeah.
Made a couple strange
Heads
plays.
up has been like half of it almost. Three-handed was, yeah. Yeah, three-handed.
And this time Christian has a real hand, pair of 10s. That is a big hand in heads-up action.
Yeah, and this guy had the big stack and one huge hand.
Makes it 160,000 to go.
Well, it's a standard raise for these guys, just the minimum raise.
Look at this, Daniel with another big hand, ace-king.
Oh, folks, buckle up. You're going to see fireworks here. I expect this to be re-raised and then a major move by Christian Harder. This hand sort of plays itself.
Well, Daniel has raised to 425.
I'll be shocked if he doesn't ship it.
You got your pair of 10s. You've been playing for 5 days. He's going to check it, though, because you never know. Sometimes you misread these hands.
So make sure you got the pair.
There he goes, all in.
Oh.
Now, this is going to be called by Daniel.
Oh, yep.
Well, a massive pot over 4.8 million. If Daniel wins this pot, the tournament's over.
Both players up on their feet, excited.
Well, once again, this tournament could end on a race.
Yeah, I got you covered.
Daniel with the 2 overcards. Christian with the under pair. Who's going to get lucky and win this race and perhaps this tournament? Well, just a moment ago, we saw Christian Harder with the 2 overcards against the under pair. Had he won that race, he'd have won the tournament. Now we're in exactly the reverse situation where he's got the under pair and needs to win the pot to stay alive. So far, so good as it comes. Jack, 8-5, 2 10s out front.
Ace on the river.
Nice place to be. 10s in front and a deuce on the turn. No help for Daniel. 10s are still good.
Daniel must catch an ace, a king, or on the river if he's going to be our champion right here, right now.
Will this be the first suck
Can
out of the
Christian
evening?
hold him off?
Okay, here we go, Mike.
The king! Unbelievable heartbreak for Christian Harder as Daniel catches a king on the river to win this pot and win this tournament.
It is over. Daniel Santoro from Baltimore, Long Island will take down his title. What an effort. He's our champ.
Well, Vince, you can honestly say that either one of these players could have certainly won this tournament. Lady Luck shining on Daniel Santoro. He is our champion.
Wow. And right now, Christian Harder, our runner-up, is over to talk to Matt Savage.
Christian, all night long when there was an all-in, the best hand won until the last card on the last hand. How frustrating is this for you?
Well, I mean, it was a coin flip, so I wasn't way ahead or anything. But, yeah, it's obviously frustrating to lose heads up in a big tournament. But, I mean, I ran pretty well early in the heads up match, and then he won 2 flips to end it, so it happens.
You're 23 years old, $250,000. Tell the people out there, what's it like to win $250,000 and still not win what you really wanted?
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed right now, obviously, but I'll get over it eventually. I mean, I did win a lot of money, so.
All right, we'll see you at the Bellagio.
All right, thanks.
All right. Mike, back to you.
Well, congratulations to Daniel Santoro, WPT champion. Kimberly, back to you.